Assalamu alaikum, good evening and welcome to Sports Extra, the weekend review, ladies and gentlemen. And it's really good to be back after a long break. I haven't been on screen for a long time, but it's really good to be back in the studio. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're going to cover all sorts of sports, but we're going to begin with a sport called futsal. Now, futsal, of course, as you know, is this shortened version of the game. It comes from the Spanish football sala or football de salon, which basically means that you play indoors. It's five-a-side, and you basically have two halves of 20 minutes each, and then you go and play in those days, gaining immense popularity. But what's really important to note over here is that recently, from the 2nd of December till the 5th of December, the third South Asian futsal championship was held in Sri Lanka, and the Pakistan team were the defending champions. Now, they didn't get to win this time around, and there are many reasons for that, but they did end up beating India 9-0 in Sri Lanka. Before we get to other things, let me introduce my panel. It's a lot of young, talented people wearing their colors and their ties. I've got with me Mr. Mubashir Sanjarani, who's the captain, and of course, also got to be the player of the tournament. Welcome to the show, Mubashir. So good to have you. I've got with me a young Imad Khan. Imad Khan, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Then I'm moving on to Rana Abbas. Rana, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And it's Abdul Ahad Adil. No, this is Ahad with an E. Abdul Ahad Adil, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Mubashir, I'm going to start with you.
Yep.
Pakistan were the defending champions in 2014. You guys went back on your own. You don't have a sponsor. You don't have any federation supporting you. It's a self-financed project. You went there. You played four matches, and you beat India 9-0, and you end up winning this. You were the player of the tournament. So how did it all happen?
Well, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, exactly. We were very lucky to win to India as well in the tournament, and we started like a few weeks back. The team was selected to participate in this championship, and we worked very hard with the coaches, with the managers as well, to focus to win the trophy. But there were some problems that we faced over there in Colombo. Well, it was like the weather was very hot over there.
Right.
And it was a team spirit. Everyone was very, focused to win for Pakistan. We were motivated as well. But unfortunately, there were some issues that we had to face, like there was no sponsors to the team, and anyhow, I was the captain representing Pakistan, and my main focus was to at least, to get the third position for Pakistan.
Right.
And
which we did, right?
Yeah, exactly, we did. And a part of this, I was the top scorer as well, and also declared the best player for the for the championship, which is, it is an honor for me.
Right, of course.
It is honor for the team as well.
No, it's an honor for Pakistan as
Exactly.
well. Sanjarani, it's very nice to see you. Imad, okay, where do you play in this five-a-side player? Do you play in defense? You play in the offense? And how was it like playing against Sri Lanka, Nepal, Maldives, and then finally India?
Basically, in futsal game, there are four positions: the pivot,
right,
two wings, and one attacker.
Okay.
And it keeps on revolving around.
Okay.
So I start the game playing as a pivot.
Okay.
Then we keep on revolving the position. We switch position like in between the game.
Okay.
When we went there, we had a squad of like 10 people.
Okay.
All of them 10 being selected from different areas.
Right.
There was a federation overlooking this all.
Okay.
Our federation is Pakistan Soccer Futsal Federation.
Okay.
It is not being affiliated within Pakistan with Pakistan Football Board, but it is affiliated with the federation who held this tournament.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Rana, of course, this is the first time that you were representing Pakistan abroad, I presume?
Yes, this is for the first time.
Okay, so how is it like when you sort of get off the plane and you're going into this hall or this open air amphitheater or whatever it's converted into, this soccer field or whatever, and then you have to see these 5 Indian players and you're going over there and you know that the traditional rivalry. So what motivated you and the team to win 9-0 against India?
There are two motivations behind that. First one, as this was India against us, and second of all, it was very much necessary to beat India by a high margin in order to get the third position.
Okay.
So these are the two strong motivations because of which we have actually went in with a great spirit,
Okay.
and we have managed to beat India 9-0.
Right. Abdul Ahad Adil, you're the youngest of the squad. So you're just 20 years old and you're wearing Pakistani colors and you're very proud of it. You study in NUST, so you're trying to do your studies and play.
Absolutely.
So how was it for you? First of all, tell me that when you landed over there and when you went inside and you were wearing the Pakistani colors, the national anthem must have played. How did you feel, representing Pakistan?
It was amazing. I can't put it into words. It's just when you're wearing that kit and when you have that color on, the feeling that you get, it's amazing.
Really?
It's amazing.
And your smile says it all. Okay, so I'll come back to you, Mubashir Sanjarani. Okay, so why did they give you this in particular? It's not just the India match. You also scored in the other matches as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you were third place, but how did you feel when they actually called you and said, okay, you are the player of the tournament?
Well, it was shocking for me as well. But
Shocking? Why?
Yeah, because there were many good players,
Okay.
very good scorers as well. But let's start from the first match with Sri Lanka.
Right.
I scored 3 goals for Pakistan, although we lost 6-5. But from that match, I was motivated by scoring 3 goals. And then again, the next match again, I scored the goals for Pakistan, 2 goals. And then again, in every match I have scoring for Pakistan. And apart from, because I had to play for the four matches for the team as well. And apart because of the experience, because I think so that affects us a lot, because I've been playing from last many years.
Right.
And futsal actually is not like a football, you can say,
Right.
because you need more skills, you need more dodging as well, you need more sense as well.
I was just going to get to this. He looks very naughty. So when he's playing pivot, does he, elbow here and there, and does he sort of, do those fancy tricks or not?
Yes, because
He does.
he does exactly, because it is very important as well for the team, because you have to push the players to make them engage as well, so that the game can be start as well. But of course, all of the boys were very naughty, but the matches were very nice. We didn't have any fight with anyone, and it was like sports spirit matches.
Okay, coming to you, naughty man. Tell me this much, Imad. How was it like when you were playing in Sri Lanka? What was the crowd reception like? I mean, because when we go abroad, we have this feeling that we're not liked or loved or appreciated. And of course, you youngsters were going there. So when you're playing in a place like Sri Lanka, which is very close to relations with Pakistan, so what was the reception of the Sri Lankan people when you were there?
The Sri Lankan people just love the Pakistani team. They
Okay.
love the Pakistani people. We were the most loved team there. We were the most organized team there. The Sri Lankan team, and especially the Nepalians.
Okay.
The Nepalians are very friendly to Pakistan. They gave us their Buddha, I guess.
Yeah.
The one they preach. The Pakistani team was the center of attraction all in the tournament.
Now, why are you saying that?
Because
Yes, please explain now.
the Pakistani team was well organized. We were
Good-looking,
good
well-organized.
looking people.
Okay.
We know how to talk. We know
Right.
how to meet people. We know how to greet them. We played good football. We also won the Fair Play Award
Okay, great.
in the tournament. In all, Pakistani team, we were the team who scored 3 goals in every match in this starting 5 minutes.
Okay.
We were the dominating team in
Okay.
every game. But due to we practiced here in cold weather, the
Yes.
weather there was very, very, very hot. So in all, when the tournament ended, the Sri Lankan management, the Indian management, they all loved us. They just loved us.
What they did.
Yeah.
Okay, Rana Abbas, which position do you play? And which was out of all the matches that you played in this tournament, which was the most memorable one and why?
I used to play both the positions, like the wing
Okay.
and the pivot.
Okay.
All right, because as there is no position allocated to any player in this futsal format,
Right.
because everyone has to rotate or everyone has to change the positions according to the game.
Right.
So what we used to do is I was most of the times I was in the pivot and the wing.
Okay.
there were very few chances when I was moved to the target or the strike
Okay,
one,
right.
because our captain is already there.
Okay, fine.
So-
Coming to you, Abdul Ahad Adil, Triple A. Tell me this much, that when you were going and playing against India, because I'm coming to this because this is a phenomenal win. It's 9-0. It's not a joke. What was it like each time that you would go and score, and you knew that this is our traditional rivals and that I'm playing against this country? And what was it like once you sort of ended the match? Did you go and shake hands? Were they nice to you? Did you sort of say, okay, fine, well played? And or what was it like the entire duration of this 40 minutes?
When we started the match, right, it was very heated. There were elbows going around, and it was very heated, right? But
Okay.
as the match progressed on and we started scoring goal after goal after goal, they started to feel a bit demoralized,
Okay.
and we tried to play the best that we could because we needed a good margin, right?
Right.
So by the time the game ended, we were all in very good spirits, and
Of
we
course.
just we saw them, and some of them were crying, and some of them were very demoralized. So we went up to them, we shook their hands, and we told them that, you
We're
know,
from Pakistan. We have large hearts, right? Something like that. No.
I mean, we could have said that, but that
But
would be
you
very
didn't.
nice.
But it was fun overall for a 20-year-old guy to go and represent Pakistan and to. Did you sign some autographs as well?
I don't know. I think there were plenty of people there.
Okay, fine. Coming back to you, Captain Saab, Mubashir Sanjarani.
Yes.
So let's go back into the whole. Now let's tackle something which is a more is slightly more difficult. You guys were the defending champions, the second South Asian Futsal Championship. Why couldn't you find a sponsor? How did you manage to get there? What was it like for you to represent Pakistan but not have any logos or any sponsors? Did you feel demoralized? And how did you pick yourself up?
Well, initially, yeah, of course, we were very worried about the sponsors, but unfortunately, the problem was that the media exactly was not so much, into it, which is one of the mistakes that we had, and there were no time as well, because we had only 2 weeks to train the boys to participate in the championship. A part of this Pakistan Sports Board as well, they were not affiliated with the Federation for Futsal Soccer, but Mr. Adnan Malik and the coach was Mr. Tariq Yunus, who were very focused with the team. They did everything, the track suits to the boys. Even we had to pay. Everyone had to pay for their suiting as well. We had to pay for the traveling. And
You're like
stuff.
the West Indian T20 team, right?
Exactly, you can say that, yes, because I think there was negligence from the sports ministry as well, because if we have such guys like this and very nice boys, we have talent, we have skills, we have everything, what you need. But unfortunately, you can say in the end that there was no sponsor.
Yeah, we really hope that, Mubashir, that, because it's a growing sport, and we really hope that despite the hurdles that you will continue to do well for us. And but what's really important, I guess, Imad, was the experience for you as well, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Wearing the Pakistan suit, representing Pakistan in a foreign country, that was the best thing I could want in my life. And
Yeah.
I hope Allah gives me more opportunities like this in future.
And so, Rana, what's the next championship? How do you plan to attend that? What's the next goal now for the young Pakistani futsal team?
Yes, this is now a very great opportunity for the Pakistan, because the next Asian Futsal Championship is being held in Pakistan.
Okay.
And this is a great honor for Pakistan, and we are very much we are actually looking forward to win this championship in Pakistan being held. That was, I guess, in April 2017, or I guess in June.
Okay.
So this is a great opportunity for Pakistan, and we would love to have our sports board to be involved in it. And they would surely, we would surely be looking forward that they would help us in doing it financially,
Yeah.
as well as they have to, because our coaches have already they have done a lot in this tour, and we are very much confident that we are
Right.
surely going to lift that trophy. as
Right.
well.
Before I go to Abdul Ahad, Mubashir, one question for you because you've been doing this for a really long time. Please tell me this much that, I mean, what is the preparation like? I mean, is this like a serious sport, first of all? Because, you know, when you equate it with the likes of actual football on the playing field and all that, it looks like a pretty different game, right? So, but what kind of preparation is required? Is it as serious a game as are the rest of the games like football and hockey and so on and so forth, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, of course, it is a very serious game. It is not an easy game like we think, because the field is going to be small, and there are going to be less players as well, five-a-side. But in this game, you actually need to have a lot of stamina. You need skills. You need vision as well, because in 40 minutes you have to score as many as goal you can do. You know?
Right.
And part of this, because this is like a rolling substitute as well. It's not like in football you just change and just you take a rest. In this game you have to come out, you have to go in, come out, go in. So for this game you need to get a lot of practice.
Yeah.
It's not like one day game, because even in Europe these games start from when the child is like 4 years old.
Yeah, of
But
course.
in Pakistan, the futsal, what I have seen is like boys playing after 10 years.
Yes, I think that's the problem with all sports. We also just have a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in discussion, of course, with the Pakistan futsal team, which has just gone to Sri Lanka. And they didn't get to win this time around, but they drew a couple of matches. And interestingly, they beat India 9-0, which is a huge margin. So rounding it off, we just have a couple of minutes left. Imad, if you were to sum up this entire experience for yourself and for your compatriots, what would it be in a few words? Representing Pakistan, going and beating India, being representatives and ambassadors of Pakistan. Sum it up for us, please.
In short words, concluding the fact that we went on and represented Pakistan in Sri Lanka, we secured third position, and the most important fact that we was financing ourselves.
Yeah.
And the only two person helping us was Malik Adnan, who was our general secretary, and Tariq Yunus, the
Right.
coach of the team. We went, we played, and all Mubashir, our captain, and the both officials which went with us, the only thing on our mind when we played the match was that we had to make them proud. We had to
And you
make
did.
the nation proud.
And you did.
And
you have.
we have to prove that even if we are not getting financially supported by our government, we have to prove that Pakistan is the best team there is in futsal.
Well, we are very, very proud of you. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Mubashir, Imad, Rana Abbas, and Abdul Ahad Adil. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have lots more to come. We have Mr. A.R. Zaidi, Colonel Naushad Ali, and Salman Tariq waiting. After this break, we will be discussing the very important Pakistan versus Australia tour. But rounding this off, on this table, of course, we have this trophy of this young man who's represented Pakistan. In fact, all of them, they made us very proud. It's not just about beating India, it's about actually going and representing Pakistan. It's about wearing those colors, donning that beautiful green blazer, and going and saying, we are Pakistan. And even though we have difficulties, we will, of course, always overcome. So if there are people listening to this program from the Pakistan Sport Board, these boys need to be sponsored. They need to be promoted. So we hope and pray that you will listen to us and give them the promotion. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. Very good to have you. So we're taking a short break now. And once we come back, we're going to discuss the very, very important Pakistan versus Australian cricket tour. Till then, take a short break and come back and join us on the other side. Welcome back to Sports Extra, the weekend review, and we've moved on from futsal to a much more important event that's taking place. That's the all-important Pakistan versus Australia series. Now, we did not do very well against New Zealand. In fact, the test began and ended, we didn't even know what had happened. And then to go into the lion's den, of course, Australia has just whiplashed New Zealand in the Chappell Hadley series. And now Pakistan is up against these big, huge opponents. They're playing very well. It's their home turf. And to discuss that, I've got with me, of course, Colonel Naushad. He needs no introduction. His captain has They've been the manager of Pakistan team many a time. Colonel Saab, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Ali, for
And of course, we've got senior journalist and broadcaster Zaidi Saab with us as well. It's always a pleasure to have him wearing a very nice red sash. Zaidi Saab, welcome to the show.
Same to you, because you are also coming back after a long
very
time.
long time. We shall discuss that later. And of course, I've got young chartered accountant and sports enthusiast Salman Tariq with us as well. Salman, welcome to the show.
Pleasure, thank you.
Right, Colonel Saab,
Yeah.
we beat Cricket Australian 11 by 201 runs. We saw Amir, Rahat and Wahab bowl superbly with the pink ball, but the batting, the scorecard is only 208. It wasn't a really first-class team that was playing against Pakistan.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we saw what the damage Warner, Steve Smith and even Mitchell Marsh did against the New Zealand team. So now we're going in playing against this team. What's going to happen to our team?
Ali, well, I think this is a sort of warm-up for Pakistan.
Right.
I mean, after performing not so well on the New Zealand soil, they have shifted over here, and they are lucky to have this practice match. And practice match against a weak combination.
Okay.
And that gave them ample opportunity. I mean, as far as the practice match is concerned, why the team was not strong enough, why the team was played, well, it could be part of the strategy of the Australian Cricket Board, Australian selectors, Australian team management. But certainly Pakistani has got a good time to play on this sort of pitch, where the ball is coming up very well on the bat, and it was taking a height as well.
Right. Zaidi Saab, Yunus Khan made 54 of 138 in the first innings. Azhar Ali made 82 of 209 deliveries. What he said later on was that it was very important for me to stick on the wicket and get used to the bounce and the pace. But this is, of course, like a B team playing against Pakistan. What's going to happen with the likes of Pat Cummins, Josh Hazlewood and Mitchell Starc are going to be bowling against them?
First, our viewers should know that Cairns is at a distance of a road distance of 9 hours from Brisbane.
Okay.
So the wicket behavior will, of course, be very different from what is going to be at Gabba.
Okay.
And this wicket was initially helping the seamers, but at a later time it was helping the spinners too. Nawaz got 3 wickets in second innings.
Right.
Well, when you talk about Aussies, you were talking to Colonel Saab, I can see a vengeance in their eyes.
Yes.
And Australian media is already building it up. And Australian media plays a very, very negative role in the victories of Australian cricket team.
Obviously, yes, sir.
And the Pakistan team will have to play against the Australian players. Normally, you say you have to play against the 2 umpires and 11 other players. You have to play here 11 players and whole of the Aussie media.
That's right, sir.
Particularly their tabloid press.
That's right. Salman, walking into the Gabba, probably 30, 40,000 people there chanting against you. Our motivation level is not very high. We should have played much better against New Zealand. We didn't. Batting is very suspect. Amir has not been taking those 5-wicket hauls. Rahat is looking, a bit tired. Wahab is aging. How are you seeing this thing match up against Australians at Gabba?
Well, this is an occasion to rise for our new talent, and we have seen Babar Azam, who have been in runs, who have shown some promise. But at this practice match, I've seen, Mohammad Nawaz coming up to the occasion.
Right.
He scored some good, useful runs, and he also picked up wickets. So that is a very positive sign if we are not playing Yasir Shah. So that gives an opportunity for somebody like Mohammad Nawaz to, prove himself out there.
Right. Colonel Saab, Nawaz, of course, took 3 for 31. He's this young, talented, all-rounder.
Yeah.
But why aren't we playing more of Imad Wasim?
Well, I think
That was a big sigh, by the way.
No.
Colonel Saab, that was a very big sigh. You were thinking what to say.
Well, there should be a good competition between the two.
Right.
And I think the way initially Imad came up and performed so well with the ball and the bat as well. He also looks to be a genuine all-rounder.
Right.
Whereas I think the other fellow has got the opportunity and he's been with the team for quite some time. He must have learned a lot.
Right.
And that's what he came out for this performance as well. But I'll still say one thing. To me, Imad looks to be a much more matured player, mature individual than anybody else.
Right. Zaidi Saab,
I tend to agree what Colonel Saab is saying.
you didn't even listen to my question. Zaidi Saab,
I
this is
just
so
wanted
unfair.
to add something
Yeah.
to that.
No,
what
but
Colonel
Zaidi
Saab
Saab,
said.
it looks, we have no one to actually object. Probably the coach and Inzamam and everybody else, Misbah, Yunus, we've got such senior players going, they will probably know more than probably me. But it looks kind of strange that you're playing Nawaz, who's very good. We're not doubting Nawaz, but Imad is equally, if not better, than Nawaz. So if you're playing one in a practice, why wouldn't you play Imad and get him into the test playing 11?
Ali, I disagree with the selection committee on many issues. If you look at the domestic season, including this match, which is being played today, it's a day and night
Right.
match. Top of the ladder is Kamran Akmal.
Right.
And you are not providing him a chance. Then that youngster Usman Salahuddin, then Asif Zakir. And there are many who have scored heavily in the domestic season. Why are we not providing them the opportunities?
Right, absolutely.
And some of them are crying today.
Right,
I've read
of
in the
course.
newspaper.
Oh God. Salman, Hafiz is now probably one of the players who's got his bowling action fixed and everything else. This tour, how important do you think is for a person like Shan Masood and Azhar Ali? Because Azhar Ali is the captain elect, or he's probably going to be the one who's going to take over from Misbah, looks like it. Sarfaraz is not playing really well. He hasn't performed in behind the stumps as well and as a batsman. So these 2 or 3 players, what's your opinion on Shan Masood, Azhar Ali and of course Sarfaraz?
Shan Masood, or we are talking about Sami Aslam here?
Sorry, Sami Aslam, sorry.
Sami Aslam has been good. He has shown some promise. He has performed consistently on the England tour as well, and he scored some 90-odd runs against New Zealand as
Right.
well. So I guess we need to give him one more series. Let's give him one more series and then try out some other opener. And plus, I would also add here that Azhar Ali, he looks more likely that he is going to inherit the captaincy of from Misbah ul Haq. But I'm not really sure if he's a good captain, if he's going to be a good captain or not. And at the other end, Sarfaraz, there are some serious concerns over him. He averages only 18 odd outside Asia. He has
Right.
been throwing his wicket on consistent basis. So how lenient are we going to be on him? Why can't we, ask him, we can talk to him and we can ask him that you have to perform a significant role if you want to stick to the team.
Right. Colonel Sahab,
I'll add one thing. He said crying. I'll add one more person in the crying. Asif.
yes, ladies and
Asif
gentlemen,
Zakir?
No, not Asif Zakir, the fast bowler.
Mohammad Asif,
ladies and
yes.
gentlemen, we were, of course, before they were actually getting seated, we just had a little figure that in 12 overs bowl, Mohammad Asif is given just 9 runs and taken 3 wickets. And we were just debating that if Amir can play, then why can't Asif play? So that's my next question. It's a very tricky question. I'll pose it to this very senior gentleman. And here we've got live footage, of course, coming from PTV Sports, which is also beaming the Kazim Trophy final between WAPTA and HBL. Colonel Sahab, okay, fine, this thing happened in England last time around. Asif got a clean sheet. They
Yeah.
all got a clean sheet. They've served their time. So if Amir can play, why can't Asif play?
That's what comes to my mind, the same question. But certainly Asif is little more in age than Amir, number one. And number two, Asif probably he served more period of time under sentence than Amir.
Right.
And people who were trying, who were educating all this, they thought that probably Asif has done much more, being a senior member of the team than Amir, and of course Salman, but being the captain,
Right.
he is equally been punished as Asif has been punished. But certainly I'll say one thing, leaving aside that verdict, look at the performance, look at the requirement of the Pakistan team. I think the way Asif is playing, Asif is bowling, I mean, he certainly deserved to be considered.
Talking about fast bowlers, we're seeing Irfan in action. Zaidi Sahab, what did we do with Irfan and his career?
He got 3 wickets today, but he was pitching the ball well up to the batsman. While adding something to what you asked about Asif, it was a dream day for me watching Asif bowling a smooth run up and pitching the ball just on the off stump at a good length and forcing the batsman to make errors. What a lovely sight it was.
Right,
and I
absolutely.
want him, this is my wish that if I could see him bowling for Pakistan.
Salman, of course, Asif is Asif, and we're also seeing Irfan. Now, going to a place like Australia, where there's this bounce, this pace, what did we do with Irfan's career, in your opinion, that we just sort of, he's got these niggling problems, his injuries? What is your opinion on Mohammad
Ali,
Irfan?
how about a bowling attack comprising of Mohammad Amir, Mohammad Asif, Mohammad Irfan and Junaid Khan?
That's a perfect combination.
That's a perfect combination.
Right.
If we can think like that, why not the selectors?
Right.
Why can't they see Mohammad Irfan performing the way he is right now? He has bowled 13 overs. We talk about his fitness issues.
Right.
If he's not fit, then how can he bowl 13 overs? If
I
he's
have,
bowling
got,
13
I have
overs.
got one question. Where was Junaid Khan? He was supposed to play today's match.
Right. Colonel Sahab, please answer his question. Zaidi Sahab, you're very
First
closely
I'll come back
affiliated.
to Asif.
Right.
I haven't finished yet. You see, Asif is a little bit different from other bowlers. Number one, you have got so many left-hand fast bowlers, medium fast bowler or fast bowlers. He's the genuine right-arm medium fast bowler. And the best part of Asif's bowling is he keeps the ball in the hand. He moves in front, showing the hand to the bowler, batsman, clearly. But he has got some special thing in him that the last moment he uses his wrist so effectively that the ball, if he wants to, he can bring it in. If he wants to, he can bring it out as well. So he is a unique, genuine, medium fast bowler who not only uses his wrist cleverly, but also intelligently he observes the requirement of the batsman where he is going to move on the next ball.
Right.
Ali, there were two bowlers who were supposed to play today's match. One was Umar Gul, other was Junaid Khan. Umar Gul is once again down with injuries, and he could not play. We know about that. But nobody knows why didn't Junaid Khan join his team, I mean, to play this match.
Right, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're in discussion with these wonderful people. Two of them are extremely senior to me, and I really enjoy my time with them. So my next question, of course, to them is slightly different. It is, what is the future or the present of Misbah-ul-Haq and Yunus Khan? Is this their last series, and how will history remember them?
That's a good question.
Colonel
Very
Saab,
good question,
we expected everything from Misbah, he delivered.
Yeah.
Are we forcing him to play on? Is this going to hurt his legacy? Are we going to expect some more miracles from the likes of Misbah and Yunus?
People, I mean, we are talking, somebody else is talking, the chairman is talking, the selectors are talking about the retirement of the Misbah. But I talked before also, I'll say again, the retirement is the personal decision of the individual,
Right.
whether he is a captain, whether he is not a captain. So, same goes to Misbah-ul-Haq. I mean, he is certainly 42. 42 is the age where your physical weaknesses come up.
Right.
But he is still maintaining. He still looks to be fit. I mean, he's performing well. He is doing well as a captain. So I think as far as the Misbah is concerned, it should be left to Misbah when he decides or not. But in case of Yunus Khan, it is a little bit different. Yunus Khan should see where his form is going away. When the form is going away, he should himself decide and say goodbye, and that will be good for him and good for the Pakistan cricket.
Zaidi Saab, I'll pass the same question to you. We saw in England, we saw the push-ups, we saw what Misbah was capable of, we saw how he leads from the front, we saw how he's sort of mechanized this team together, bringing up the youngsters, taking care of his seniors, and so on and so forth. But are we actually asking too much from Misbah and Yunus now?
When the Cairns match started, I was expecting a good batting practice from both of them. Yunus scored 54 runs in the first innings, got some practice. But in the second innings, he failed. Misbah, in fact, wanted to gel on the wicket, but he couldn't. So when he's going to play on these bouncy tracks, well, he'll have to score runs. I have been to all 3 test grounds where the test matches are going to play.
Right.
Gabba will be difficult. Of course, Melbourne, in fact, helps the batsman too. And Sydney, of course, it is a spinner's wicket.
Right, and we
on the
don't
third
have
and
Yasir
fourth
Shah,
day, it helps spinners and batsmen as well.
Right.
What I feel is that there are ample opportunities for Misbah to score runs at Melbourne and at Sydney.
Right. Salman, Mickey Arthur says that Babar Azam could be the next Virat Kohli. I mean, it's very easy to say that because Virat Kohli is a huge shoes to fill. He's one of the greatest batsmen probably of our contemporary times at the moment, with likes of Steve Smith, Kane Williamson, and of course A.B. de Villiers and so on and so forth. What is your take on Babar Azam? And is this the right time for Babar Azam to get the #1 spot and make it his own and show this entire country that he's got the talent?
It's too early to compare him with the greats of the game. I mean, he has just announced himself on the international stage. He has got 1 series against West Indies, and that was a very weak West Indies side on pitches that are usually very batting friendly. So basically, you cannot judge him and you cannot count him into the greats of the game. But still, he has shown promise over the green top tracks of New Zealand. He scored a very good fighting knock of 90 score.
That's right.
So I guess Babar Azam is a very rare talent. He'll be tested in Australian conditions, but Australian conditions would suit him even further than what New Zealand had to offer.
Sure.
So we do have to expect some, 100 or maybe a double 100. I'm asking for too much from him.
You are
but
asking
let's be optimistic. He can score runs. He has shown promise against New Zealand on green top
But I've
tracks.
seen Amir Sohail scoring at 99 at Brisbane in 1995. Well, if you follow the ball cautiously, I mean, don't give it neck to the wicketkeeper or slip cord, and I think you can stay. And unfortunately, all the Pakistani batsmen, they have got this tendency
To just get
to
the
be
edges.
weak outside the off stump.
So your take on Babar Azam before I move on to the Australian
He's
side?
been with me about a few months back. He was the captain, I was the manager on the Pakistan A team. A brilliant cricketer. I mean, he understands the game very well. But to pass a judgment like this, I mean, it is harmful to Babar Azam as well.
Yes.
I think it should be avoided.
So because, I mean, Mickey Arthur is Mickey Arthur, but I mean, to compare Babar Azam with Virat Kohli or Kane Williamson so early in like Salman,
I'll agree with him that it's too premature.
It's too
to say.
premature.
I mean, let him score some runs, let him be some failures as well, and then give him more chances if there's a lot of talent in him. Do not drop him from the matches. That is what you can give him.
I think give him an opportunity to score an innings that people should remember. How did Virat Kohli become a great of the game?
Yeah.
When he scored 183 against us.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Before that, Virat Kohli was a very good player, but still people did not know him.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
give an opportunity to Babar to score something like that, and then we can talk about how good he is.
And I think
Zaid
it's an emotional and patriotic statement by Mickey Arthur.
You always come up with these statements, Zaidi Saab. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan is up against one of the best teams in the world. There's no doubt about that. Although Australia had a terrible tour against South Africa, they lost the test matches. We saw Faf du Plessis also make that audacious declaration that cost him the last test match. But they have come out on top. They have, decimated New Zealand, and how? So my next question is, sir, David Warner, 57 test matches, 4,905 runs, 48 average, 1600s, 22 50s, highest score 253. Steve Smith, 47 test matches, 4,311 runs, average of 57.48, 1500s, 1850s, and I don't have the count of his catches. Sir, what is the opposition that we're up against? How are we going to tackle the likes of Davey Warner, Mitchell Marsh, and of course Steve Smith?
First, I'll talk about Australians. You see, about a few months back, and I mean a year back, people were writing off Australian cricket.
Right.
They are going down and down. But probably they have come up a little bit of the process of rebuilding, and now they look to be a little bit settled side with few new youngster coming into the team. And you mentioned about these 4 players. Well, of course they are the backbone. But now I'm talking to the Pakistan point of view. I'm pretty sure that Pakistan will certainly do better what they have done in New Zealand.
Inshallah.
Why? Because these are the pitches, they are not the green pitches, where in the movement, in the air or off the pitch, movement is not that much. There is bounce. There is good chances for the bowlers to bring in the ball over the head. But there's good chances for the batsman to strike in front of the wicket as well, and cut and pull also the good shots for the batsman that Pakistanis could do well. I'm pretty sure this should be a good series, and Pakistan, if not winning, but are capable enough to give a tough time to the Australians.
Okay, Zaidi Saab, another Pakistani who's done really well, of course, and gotten, really into the positive mindset of the Australians is, of course, Wahab Riaz. Now, his spell in the World Cup was commended all over Australia. Everybody said this is the kind of player that Pakistan should produce. Looks like it that Wahab is also going, down, and he's probably going to be one of the last tours. Do you think that this is the right time to unleash Wahab on the Australians, that he should go out there, be mean, get those short pitch deliveries into them and hurt them, hit 1-2 in the ribs? You think he's going to make this difference in this team, Wahab Riaz?
Yes, of course, his pace is going to make the difference. And he has got 4 wickets in Kane's match.
Right.
3 in the first innings and 1 in the second innings. And I think if he is intelligently used at Gaba, he can create the difference. Adding to what Kansa was talking about, Aussies. Aussies have suddenly changed their policy to rebuild their side. They have brought in a non-Aussie into Australian cricket team in the shape of Renshaw.
Yeah.
Renshaw is a British, having a British passport, but he's playing for Aussies.
Right.
And then Usman Khaja is there too. I mean, yes, he's
a very,
Islamabad
very good
lad.
player. Yes, he's a very,
He's
very good
Islamabad
player.
lad, and he has settled down very well there.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's probably all that we had for the show. Pakistan versus Australia. We've got a very, very important series starting from the 15th of December when you take on Australia in the first test match. So my last question, just giving him 20 seconds, is what do you think, Colonel Saab, is going to happen when Pakistan goes and plays against the Australians? What's the mindset going to be, and what should we expect from the Pakistan team?
Well, I think Pakistan should play aggressively, and they should be pumped up so much that they play for the win.
Zaidi Saab.
Shakespeare in Hamlet said, "Beware of Ides of March, dear Caesar." Right. I would say, beware of Ides of December.
To be or not to be, sir?
No. Ides of December.
Right.
Ides start from 15th onward.
Right. Salman, your
I would
thoughts?
say grab the catches,
Oh, that's a
capitalize
very
on the
tough
chances,
ask. Okay.
and score some decent score to allow your bowlers to attack and
You think we can make a draw or two happen?
Definitely, cricket, you can never say, you can never be sure about anything, but we'll see a good series, inshallah.
Pakistan always performs very well in number 2 and 3 test match.
Inshallah ta'ala. Well, that's what we had for the show. This was Sports Extra. I am very, very grateful to Colonel Naushad Saab, to Zaidi Saab and Saman for joining me. Of course, also to the futsal people, the team that joined me. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Do give us in your feedback. And of course, till next week, take care of yourself and Allah Hafiz.